I know a lot of you guys are already signed up for this month's Loot Crate, but I really did want to let the rest of you know that this month's theme is Dead and will feature 4+ exclusive items from The Walking Dead and the brand new Deadpool movie. This crate in particular will feature 4 exclusive items, including 2 exclusive figures, a t-shirt, and much more, all for less than $20, including shipping and handling. In fact, you can get it for around $18 using any discount code, and if you'd like to use mine, the link will be in the description below. The deadline to receive this month's crate is February 19th. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof, and I'm back again with another video, and wow, what a freaking episode. I'm just gonna warn you in advance, this is not going to be a very analytical review where, I break down what I loved and didn't love about the interview. This is gonna be much more of a rambling fanboy kind of review, because I'm obviously a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and this was a phenomenal episode of the show, and I love 608. A lot of people were very skeptical about it, mixed about it, the most recent Walking Dead episode, so I understand that maybe I'm a little biased and that I really like where the show's going right now. I got to admit, the events that happened in the show were very heartbreaking to me and definitely disappointed me in the sense of how it happened, like the events that happened, but the way it was executed and obviously like the show and how the story would progress is freaking amazing. An impeccable episode, really. Now, this was a phenomenal episode. I need not debunk that. However, I will say I don't know if this was the best episode in the show's history. One thing that I know for sure is that this episode probably contained the best scene in the episode's history. I would say previously that would be the death of Herschel in 408. Now I think that would have to be to this shit that happened, basically, Carl's eye gets shot out and Jesse's death and everything like that. All of that in this episode 609, I think, has to take the cake for the best scene in the show's history. The emotion in Andrew Lincoln's face when he sees his son, he does not have this kind of blank face. He does previously, or before then, when Jesse is getting bit. Obviously he's kind of in that trance that we've seen him in sometimes, but we saw such a raw display of emotion once Carl actually gets shot. Oh my god, it is so amazing. Once again, Michonne saving the day. She was a badass in this episode. Easily, she stole the show for the episode, really, in terms of zombie kills and everything like that. Coming to the rescue, saving Rick, saving Carl, kind of saving Carl, I guess, maybe not soon enough, but nonetheless, amazing, amazing, amazing. And the music, the way it picks up, that's one of the things I loved about 608, is that the music, it has that kind of thud, I don't know how it is, like, it's like, it sounds like a siren going off in the background a little bit, but it's like way more intense than when I just made it sound. I just sounded like a flock of geese, like lost on where they're going. But no, I mean, amazing score in the show, obviously, and even better in 609. And we see as all of the community members come together to fight, and they're in the perimeter, moving through, very similar to 304, Killer Within. When we see the group, of course, a very different group that we have now, most of which are dead, that were in 304, and now in 609, but nonetheless, they're moving as a pact in that circular formation, taking control of Woodbury, much in the same sense like they did with the prison. Again, in 302, we saw a little bit of that as well. Amazing, amazing callbacks and visual cues, and again, an exploration of the ideas that we've seen again and again about weakness and that kind of thing, and Rick reaffirms that he's been wrong all along, but the question is he really? Nonetheless, you still had Jessie was killed by her son, and her son was a moron. He said that, I could do it, Mom, I want to go with you, and he was wrong. So that weakness led to their downfall. So again, they're exploring that idea where Rick is almost maybe even a little confused. Are these people weak? The 3 that just died were, clearly, but I guess some of them maybe are not. So yeah, Sam and Ron kicked the can. Glad to see both of them go, really, honestly. They're both losers. Jessie, I was so devastated to see her die because I really loved what was going on there between Rick and her. And oh my god, it devastated me, the look on his face, and it killed me so much because I really, again, loved where they were going. I thought that she could have been his salvation from, kind of the streak that he's been going through really since, I would say, 501, that kind of rampage Rick a little bit, to be honest with you, and nope, it didn't end up that way. But again, we see an epiphany that he mentions even explicitly he has not felt since season 1, episode 1. At the end of the episode, he talks to Carl about how he has felt this epiphany, and that is remarkable. I can't wait to see where they take the character, maybe a more enlightened way where he views humanity not as harshly. We were talking about, again, Jesse's husband. He was like, we gotta kill him, to Deanna in late season 5, and we didn't really get any of that in this episode, and we see maybe that he may be on the path to a little bit more of a slacked view on, humans that he doesn't trust fully, like Michonne and everything like that. So guys, I'm just gonna ramble on and on and on about how amazing the episode is. If I have to find a gripe, and again, I'm looking for one here just to have something to say so I don't be accused of being a fanboy, I guess I didn't really like the ending scene where everybody was, like it cut quickly between them, and then Rick, it faded away where it was like black behind Rick. I didn't really like that. I felt like it kind of took you out of the action of the episode. I would much have preferred to see them just fighting the regular zombies in a regular camera angle and then just cutting to black after they kill a lot of them. But again, one thing that really surprised me is that, No Way Out, they didn't actually leave Alexandria. And I know that's, not necessarily they have to be subservient to the comics or whatever. They could have done their own thing, and that kind of surprised me that they actually are still in Alexandria. And presumably Carl is alive. Of course, Carl's alive. I don't think anyone thought he was going to die when he got his eye shot out. My concern is that if they're actually going to have a bandage over his face the whole time, obviously they're not going to just have his eye exposed, because that would cost way too much in CGI to do. So they're going to have his eye, covered and anything like that. So that doesn't mean that he's going to be doomed. We saw even with Herschel that, there was thoughts that maybe he was going to be killed after he lost his leg because it was going to cost too much to do the CGI, and then they remedied that with, the prosthetic leg and everything like that. So that was a concern that I had, that maybe they wouldn't want to pay to actually keep him on the show, but since they're covering up with the bandage, that's an easy fix, so no concern there. Now, I avoided spoilers and leaks for this episode like the freaking plague. I saw Trev Shantu and ZeusTuber making videos about this. I avoided them so heavy. They've been out for months and months, so I was so shocked with this episode. I can understand that maybe some of you may not be as surprised or hype as I am right now because you knew what was going to happen beforehand, but I didn't. When Jesse died, I was thoroughly surprised, even though I was kind of inclined to think that was going to happen. And again, I'm so devastated by the fact that this happened. But Andrew Lincoln, one of his best performances in a long time, we see that glaze looking at Carl on that hospital bed, and then he goes out and fights. What an amazing, amazing sequence. And it just let me, clapping the whole time, cheering for the squad, cheering for the team, the Alexandrians, to come out, step up. And once they're taking down all those zombies, and a lot of, again, amazing moments with Sasha and Abraham, we really got to see a comic Abraham in this episode, a little bit in the beginning, where his kind of snarky responses, but even later when he smiles after he saves Glenn, a freaking amazing scene. Again, an homage to the comics, much in the same sense that when Carl gets his eye shut out, he says dad, and again, very indicative of the comics. It looks like that they're sticking pretty close to him at this point in the show, and Scott Gimple has maybe listened to some criticisms a little bit that, they've not been following him all too closely in season 4 and season 5, late season 4, early season 5, they created a place that didn't even exist in the comics at its terminus, so they're really staying close to it, more so than in season 4 or 5, so I'm really liking the way they're going with it. So that is my review for 609 No Way Out, an amazing, amazing episode. Hope you all have enjoyed the video, and if you want more videos like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe for future Walking Dead reviews and breakdowns, everything like that. I'll be doing a review for every episode through the rest of season 6 and see how it goes and decide if I'll continue with that. Hope you guys have enjoyed. My name is Slcmof, and we will see you in the next one.